Forget everything you know about heroes. In the sun-drenched streets of Sicily, Robert McCall has stopped being a man and started being a nightmare. Most people see a retired soldier finding peace. I see a predator finding his final hunting ground. In this video, we aren't just recapping a movie. We are deconstructing the art of the ghost. We are diving deep into the terrifying evolution of a man who no longer fights for justice. Why did the world's most dangerous mafia realize too late that they weren't fighting a man, but the angel of death himself? From the haunting massacre at the winery to the tactical horror in the alleys of Altomonte, this is the final, brutal transformation of Robert McCall. Welcome to the end of the scales. Welcome to the ultimate power of an iron will. Let's get into it. Robert McCall has spent a lifetime being a shadow, a whisper in the ears of the corrupt, and the last face a monster sees before the light fades. But in this final chapter, something has fundamentally shifted. In the previous films, McCall fought to balance the scales of others. In Sicily, he is fighting to balance the chaos within himself. This isn't just a sequel, it's a metamorphosis. We begin not with an introduction, but with a visceral, haunting aftermath. The winery massacre in the opening minutes isn't just about violence, no. It's about the terrifying economy of movement. McCall doesn't waste a single breath. Every bullet, every strike with a wine bottle, every flick of a blade is a calculated surgical procedure. This is the art of the ghost reaching its absolute zenith. He sits in that dark cellar. Why? Because to a man with an iron will, the destruction of evil is no longer a task, it is a reflex. But then, the unthinkable happens. The ghost is wounded. For the first time, we see the mortal man beneath the myth. His journey to Altomonte isn't just a physical recovery, it's a spiritual rebirth. The director uses the stunning, sun-drenched landscapes of Italy to create a stark contrast with the darkness that follows McCall. As he heals, we witness a fascinating psychological phenomenon. A man who has lived in the silence of his own trauma begins to absorb the noise of a community. He watches the old baker, the carabinieri, the street vendors. He is learning what it means to be human again. But don't be deceived by the slow pace of these moments. This is where McCall is at his most dangerous. He is not just resting, he is observing. He is mapping the soul of the town, and more importantly, he is identifying the parasites feeding on it. Enter the Camorra. In most action films, the villains are just targets. In this analysis, we have to look at them as a virus. The 40 brothers represent a modern, decadent evil, loud, impulsive, and fueled by a sense of unearned entitlement. They think they own the streets of Altomonte because they have guns and a name. They don't realize they are walking into the territory of an ancient apex predator. The restaurant scene, where McCall confronts the younger brother, is perhaps the most tense moment in the entire trilogy. Look at McCall's hands. He doesn't draw a weapon. He uses a simple nerve pinch to bring a grown man to his knees. It is a terrifying display of superior knowledge over brute force. He isn't just hurting him. He is showing him the vast, unbridgeable gap between a thug and a master. As the Camorra intensifies their pressure on the town, McCall's transition from protector to reaper is complete. He realizes that you cannot negotiate with a virus. You must eradicate it. The tactical brilliance of the final act is unparalleled. Most viewers see a man killing mobsters in the dark, but if you look closer,
you see the theater of fear. McCall uses the religious procession in the town square as a psychological smokescreen. The chanting, the bells, the incense, it all serves to disorient his prey. He turns the ancient, narrow alleys of Altomonte into a labyrinth
of horror. He isn't just killing them, he is making them feel hunted. He is stripping away their bravado, leaving them trembling in the dark like children. This is the ghost at work, unseen. The execution of the Camorra boss in his own villa is the pinnacle of this cinematic journey. McCall doesn't just shoot him, he forces him to witness the total collapse of his empire. He uses a drug to paralyze his movements, but leave his mind sharp. A poetic justice for a man who spent his life paralyzing a town with fear. It is a slow, time equals 0.3 seconds, cold and methodical dismantling of a human being. In these moments, McCall isn't a hero. He is a force of nature. He is the storm that breaks the fever of the town. He is the equalizer in his purest, most terrifying form. When the sun rises the next day, the change is palpable. The shadows have been purged. McCall sits in the cafe, not as a ghost, but as a man. He has handed the secrets of the winery to Emma Collins, closing the loop on his past life with the CIA. He has ensured that the next generation has the tools to keep the peace. But the true victory is internal. McCall has finally stopped counting the seconds. He has stopped looking for the next threat. For the first time in 3 films, he is present. He has found a home not because the world is perfect, but because he finally decided he was worthy of having one. The iron will hasn't disappeared. It has finally found something to protect other than a memory. It has found a future. Robert McCall's saga ends here, but his impact is eternal. He taught us that one man, standing in the shadows with an unshakable conviction, can tip the scales of the world. He proved that justice isn't always found in a courtroom. Sometimes it's found in the quiet resolve of a man who refuses to look away. As the credits roll, we don't feel sadness for the end of the journey. We feel a profound sense of balance. The ghost has found his peace. The monster has found his soul. The equalizer has finally finished the job.